So I was saying this this session will be focused for half an hour. In the next half an hour, I need all your focus because this is very important for you to do any project in life, not only inspiration economy project, but specifically if you want to do an inspiration economy project, you have to know this skill. Okay, and it is relevant to, this is like part 2 of the project stage. Part 1 is the observation. Part 2 is the opportunities, exploiting the opportunities. Because the opportunities that we see today in front of us, they are not the real opportunities that we can solve a problem with them without extra resources. If you want to solve opportunities without extra resources, which we call it, by the way, here it is Gandhi concept, or it's well known, it's also in Islam, in many religions, it's called influencing without power. If you want to influence any community without power, power means money, power means people. In Arabic we call it wasta. Prof Said, he knows that. It means that, you know, someone will support you. You want to be, you want support from a legal you know, body or from a government. This is called power. But if you are going to change anything, even though you are a student, you might not have enough money or even to support yourself, still you can create that by seeing the hidden opportunities. And in order to see the hidden opportunities means we need to use techniques. Okay, it doesn't come by coincidence. It doesn't come by being clever. Being clever, most probably you'll use the power. Okay, being inspiring, which means that your motivation will be from inside. What's the difference between inspiring people and any other people? You know, like entrepreneurs, like innovators, like creators, you know, like genius people. And these people, they have the inspiring people, they have their internal motivation. So they don't need external motivation that much. Still, I say that some inspiring people, they will need in the beginning because their inspiration is not strong. The more you are mature with inspiration, the more you'll see that the problems with time is a sign for success. And now for us, most of us, we hate problems, right? But the more you get mature with inspiration, you'll see that a problem is part of your story that you want to live in this world. Okay, every one of us have a story, and this story will come only through challenges. Okay, so anyway, we gave you 2 forms. The first form, which is it was about the observation. Okay, the first form is about the observation based on your field visit. That's what I'm saying in this form, because nobody even asked me about this form. I'm sure a lot of you maybe did not know how to use this form, but you didn't come back to me, even though I explained it, yani. But still, I want you to come back, and if you have any questions. So here we are talking about based on your observation, does your project that you are putting in your mind have, you know, majority of these points? We have 10 points here. Okay, would your observation in this community or this place or any project or this issue, it might be not a community, it might be an issue among you know, students. Okay, conflict between students, for example, or something. Okay, but we say always community because we prefer community, so that you focus on community, on a community of a university, community of your village, or something like this. Does it really create a change? Your observation, does it will it be, if you change this observation to be positive, for example, you collected negative observation, okay, will it be if you change them, will it be a positive change in the community? So this was number 1. Number 2, can we really do it without depending on financial resources? Because if it depends too much on financial resources, that you need lots of money, this is not inspiration economy. Okay, because we market the currency of inspiration, which means that we depend on ourselves, no more than depending on others. Does it really will have a return on investment, and we can see that within 6 months or not? Okay. Does it contradict any government program? Because I don't want to enter with the government program and then we make a conflict with government program. Like you've heard before, we said to some of the projects. Okay. Can you document it? Can you take it in video? Can you take it in photos? Can you write about it? Okay. Can you make it as a reference model? Will be people, if you make it a success story, will it be reference for other communities, whether in the same country or in other countries? Okay. Okay. Or it may be different issues also similar. You might tackle issue of poverty, but people say, oh, I can apply this to issue of, for example, child labor, for example. Okay. Would it be again involve youth, okay, or NGO or stakeholders? The more you get stakeholders in your project, the more the project sustain. Because I'm worried, as I told you, and I was sorry, I was talking to Ramli in the beginning, and so you'll see over time, and it won't be your the more you get maturity in solving problems, it won't be your problem in doing a change in any community. You'll say, oh, change is that easy. Okay, it is easy, frankly, but people, they need to be honest and sincere and persistent and perseverance. And they are focused, not focused on themselves. They need to become selfless and they can do change. Okay, the more they become selfless for some time, even I'm not saying that we should not be selfish, but I say try to in your life to become selfless and as much as you can. Start with 5%. Then 10%, then 20%, then 50%. Okay. Yeah, and you'll see that yourself with time over the years, after when you reach 50%, and you are really flying. They are much, you are, you can see the things in different ways than the world. Okay. Because most people, they are selfish. They are driven by my work, my family, my business, my food, my house. So they will end up, even if they are very rich, like Arab countries, like our Gulf Arab countries I'm talking about, they will not have enough. They will always be, they want more. Okay. When you become selfish. So you'll always feel, and this is what I call it poverty within. The people are very rich, but they are poor in reality because they will never be satisfied with life. Okay. And then we're talking about it. Could it be again a way of thinking? Will this solving this problem will be help the community to change? And I see our brother from Mauritania, and I can see, and frankly, this Dar al Bayda project. Why I like this project, and I refer to it a lot now. Okay, and Assam can be a probability. By the way, the one I mean the village in Sivasagar. I believe, and it can be a replicating project for many villages. The villages, they can come without you do it for them. They will come, see the project, and they can, they say, okay, we can copy it. We can do this similar to this project. Okay. And this is the last point. It will be inspiring, can be replicated, and so on. So if once you start the observation and you start filling this question, which is I think, if not 100%, majority of you didn't go through this form in a proper way. I hope I am mistaken, but this is what I believe. So for this form have 2 pages. The second page is about your project. What is your evaluation, general evaluation about the projects? I mean, maybe you might have 4 or 3 projects. What is your evaluation now, early observation? Okay. And take care of the notes that I'm mentioning here. And you can put remarks. Once you make a score, this is, you are now really, you finish the observation. Because if you only observe and you write it in a paper somewhere, and you don't fill it in this form, still your observation is floating. Means you did not link it to what is inspiration economy. Okay. And it can be sometimes useless information with all the respect. I don't want to mention specific examples. I've seen it in your presentation, the earlier ones. Okay, it's useless. You can't use it. How you'll know? I cannot tell you now because you'll take it like like something negative. Someone is criticizing you. Go and see your observation. If they are helping you in these 10 points that I mentioned, then they are good observation. If they are not helping you, then they are useless information observations. Okay. For that, we gave you this form. Now you could start to link what are your observations, as you can see, like point number 2 here. Okay. What are your now socio-economic problem based on the observation that you collected? So see now who's controlling the problem? You remember I told you, we see always problems does not have solutions, but we see problems have what? Have opportunities. Now, this is a proof. What I'm telling you now in this form, it is a proof. Because each problem have observation. If you observe it from proper way, don't observe it from materialistic point of view, observe it from socio-economic point of view, which means start with the human mentality, the human quality of life, the human household, the human lifestyle, the human capacity, the human capability, the human changeability. These words, each word, by the way, I have written papers about it, so you can refer to at least to my first book, which is Handbook of Inspiration Economy. It is free. Just Google it. You'll find it in the Google. Okay. And I sent you, by the way, I sent Paul in the beginning all the links for our books. Okay. We work always inspiration. We work on the 4 C's: changeability, capacity, competency, then capability. Okay. These are the 4 ones that we work for. So what I wanted to say here is that very important is that we focus on, what are the socio-economic problems after we say observation, because now we're going to eliminate the problem. According to the observation, how you do a problem elimination? You can redefine the problem properly, because by the part of the way of solving any problem is what you do, you redefine it. Okay. Yani for example, it can be the problem. For example, I say, for example, in Bosnia, I noticed that most people gamble. Can we solve a problem like this? No, I don't think so. But you will say that gambling addiction in Bosnia is so much that it reaches the family and youth level. So it is in the family. It is not, outside the family. So we should start. I define the problem. If I start solving that the family is protected, or the youth in these families are protected, then I can start to solve the problem that I defined. Okay. So again, redefining the problem is very important. And how I define the problem? Based on the observation that I've seen. Okay, and I collected. And sometimes, because I didn't collect proper information, because for number 1, say most of my observation is not valid. Okay, I don't want to say rubbish. No, we call it not valid, because all observations are good. Okay, but the validity of them for this problem might not be suitable. Okay, I need to go again and collect the observation in different way, different angles, different time. Maybe I taking the observation in the morning. Maybe it's the problem happening at night. Okay, so that's again something very important. Then I should see here now I start to refine the problem. I start to refine the observation. I've seen many things, but strangely, I found in this community something not happening. Okay, something is not clear in this. I've gone to Morocco. I'll just give you an example. I've gone to Morocco. Okay, I found that this community, they are very cooperative. Okay, yani very cooperative to the level, and then we promised them, and then we'll bring for them the next forum, and that's what we did, and we'll do lunch in their community, because they are so much collaborative that each house will bring something. Someone will bring the chair, someone will bring the tea. They are very poor, but you'll see how much it is. You'll sit in the middle, it's like a village, and you'll enjoy that each one will bring for you something from the house. Okay, but we notice what is not clear in this community, and the woman role is not clear. Okay, something missing, something that did not exist, and we could not see the woman role. The woman was not in the clear role, did not have a proper role in the community. So for that, we started a project relevant to that. We find these women are mostly, they don't go to schools, they don't know even Quran or our religion, praying and so on. So we started not with to teach them, because this is not our job. We are not educational organization or charity organization that focus on education. But what we did, we focus on projects that will convince their parents and they need some education. Okay, and this is what we did. So here where we should focus. I don't want to go into detail of this more, because these are very clear, the other 2 points. Okay, so you need to read these forums, please, so that you start to prepare yourself to what I'm talking about today. Okay, I promise, Ramlin, I'll take half an hour, but I will try, maybe not a little bit more than half an hour, because now I'm taking too much time to explain for you something I felt and you have not done it. Okay, so how opportunities are exploited in Aspiration Economy, IIB, in the international project of Aspiration Economy. Okay, see, all observations, they start from the field. So these guys, they go into the field. Okay, and after going to the field, we should have a commitment. How we feel, what I mean by commitment, I mean I become part of the field. Either I become the beneficiary, the poor, or I become the field itself. I become something part of the field. And for example, many people, they tell me, how you solve chronic problems in that doctors or something in hospitals they can't solve, which is I did. I have very strong papers on that area. You can Google me. You write Buhajji Hospital, Buhajji Healthcare. You'll find many things that I solve. Okay, around the world. I tell them I become the patient. Okay, I become the patient is himself. Okay, if I'm going to improve documentation system and the government, for example, I become the document itself. Okay, I feel that I am the document. Okay, I feel I am the beneficiary. If I feel that I'm talking about the poor, for example, specifically poor people. So try to be something around this field. Then prepare yourself to go through the process of this field. Be curious. Open your curiosity to the maximum. Remember, like your child, if you have a young, most of you is not mothers, except Sumaya and so on. Like most of you are not yet mother, but you remember when you were a child, what question you used to ask? This is what I call it. Hamanya Namun. I told you, Abdurrahman and Amna, which is now they are doctors, but they used to call them Hamanya Namun. They used to ask me very difficult question to answer. Okay, and this is what I remember also for myself when I used to be young. Where is God? Why we are here? Why these people are poor? Why they are not like us? Why they can't afford to eat food when they go with me to traveling, for example? Okay, why these people, they have dogs in Europe, we don't have dogs in Bahrain in our houses? Curious, you call it silly questions, but it is really the top of the curiosity. What happened to them after that is that they gone through school, so they became shape thinkers. The more you are not shape thinker, the more you can solve problems that for Aspiration Economy. Okay, so you also here you have to behave. Your attitude is very important. You don't let the field or the beneficiary feel that you are higher than them. You are coming to take photos and like this. You have to take photos, by the way, as much as you can, but after their permission, with the respect. Maybe if they don't want to share their face, you can take it from. The most important is that you show us and what is the field. We live with you the story, so that you can build your story about that. But you have to be with a good attitude in that. The talent, of course, and the way you are asking the question. Okay, the effort you are putting, the communication skills, the performance, all of these will help you to start exploiting the opportunities. Okay, because remember, we have two things. We have observation and opportunity exploitation. Okay, and we have exploration. Okay, when you exploit something, you are getting it out of the thing. It was under the ground, you brought it out. Exploration, it might be out, it might be in, but you are doing the more discovery. You're going to lead it to a better status. So use shadowing approach. Okay, means become like, again, observer of another observer. So both of you, like sometime two people will work to observe something and discuss. Okay, and then try to have two people of different background. Someone studying sociology, someone studying engineering. It's much better than two people studying sociology, or the two people with a nearby field like sociology and psychology. The more you are wide in your approach, I mean multidisciplinary, the more you'll bring value proposition. You can find what is the value of your project there. Okay, and then you start to ask, okay, what are the human assets here in this field? What which you can capitalize on later, right? Remember, huh? What are the social assets in this field? Yani, as I told you, this Moroccan village, they are Berber, Amazigh, sorry, Amazigh. I think Dr. Sayed, he knows that. Okay, in this, especially in Moroccan area, I mean, most of the Arab, North African countries. Okay, they have lots of Berber or Amazigh. The strength about this Amazigh people is that they are having social assets. For that, we gone and we started our project with them. They are very, very poor. They are in the mountains, but they have very strong social assets. Okay, with each other, they are highly connected, support each other. Okay, which is we miss today. Most of us today is sitting in big buildings or villas or high skyscraper. Okay, but nobody knows us. Even our neighbor, he don't know. If someone dies in his house, nobody know him. Okay, so see, you can see how much people are different, and they have different social. Social asset or physical asset or natural asset, and they are very strong in natural assets. So these are the assets that can help us to avoid being dependent on the financial asset. What capital economy made for us, it shaped us to think that all the solution must come from someone who's rich. Okay, the more we see models like Elon Musk or something like this, we say, oh, I'm not Elon Musk, I cannot do this. Okay, this is what capital economy is pushing in your mind, and they cannot do any real change. For that, most people, they want to migrate from south to north. They want to go to Europe. They want to do, because they think there they will be rich and they will solve the problem or something like this. So anyway, what I'm saying here is that once we identify these changes, we start to think, okay, can we solve this problem with $1,000? But no, Dr. Buhajji, he wants us to solve this problem with $300. After a while, after I list, yes, the problem, I can solve it in $1,000. But Dr. Buhajji is very stringent. He wants us to solve the problem with $300. What can I do? So I'm giving you the 3M, which you can remember. Okay, I want you to remember, please, and write it down. You can write it down here, and you can write it down also in your notes. Okay, the first M is the Muda. This is a Japanese technique. Okay, I work with Japanese for about 10 years. The Muda is about, called Muda means waste. Okay, Muda in Japanese means waste. Muri in Japanese means physical strain, mental strain, any type of strain. Bullying is part of Muri, isn't it? Strain, you are working too much hours, too many hours you are working in order to produce a profit margin very little for the poor. Okay, if you say, you claim and you raise the money for the poor from products that you're going to work with them, okay, like Selma, she started maybe her project now. Okay, if you are saying that they work long hours, but still they are making high penalty, your project is not, even if they sell little more, then we need them with time to feel quality of life. And they work 8 hours maximum, but still, and they can manage their family, they can be happy, socialize and so on. So the more we manage to reduce the more Muda, we can reduce the Muri. The more we manage to reduce the waste, the more we can reduce the physical strain, the mental strain, and all the type of strains. The more we manage to minimize the Muda, the waste, and the Muri, which is the physical strain, the more we're gonna manage to reduce the Mura. Mura means the instability. One day I make profit, second day they don't sell something. This over time, you'll see, you're gonna not go, very high like this, like a sharp curve and then drop down. This is what I don't want for Darky. For that we are worried, because Darky can make a good profit in the beginning, which is our, this I told you about dining in the dark for the blind people, which they run it. But maybe over time, especially these restaurants, like fashion stores thing, they come up, then they drop down. Okay, No, we want something that stable, even if it goes pick up step by step. Okay, so these are the points. Please ask me question later about that, and maybe I will stop. Yani I will not maybe cover all of this. Frankly, I'll keep some of it for next time. But at least I'll cover the majority of things that you need to use for your when you now start to transfer all your data in these forms. I will not accept any project to start, including Salma's project, unless this form has been filled properly. Okay, Salma, she started their project now, but still she needs to fill this because there is still the rest of the amount cannot be given till we see that the proper data is there. The more we have proper data, the more we'll ensure, not because we don't trust you, no, we want to ensure that your project can sustain. Okay, as I told you, changing is something, sustainability is another thing. Okay, and this is what would happen to you in the beginning when you start collecting observation. You'll start to interact with the problem. And as I told you, think empathy in this way. Think empathy, don't think sympathy, which means what? Which means that I should not go and go, oh, let me do help these people and start to do something very emotional. No. Okay, no. I need you to think properly after taking the notes, after putting it in the forms, after starting to, explore the opportunities, you start again to see what are the area of the problem I can absorb. I can see now that this problem, it started big. I'm going to make it small. I will shorten, shrink the problem that I want to tackle. Don't take big problem, take a small community, small village or something like this with a small problem. Once you start to solve this problem, you can then generalize this problem, and we support you that time. We'll have more trust. And this problem can bring, the way you are doing it, like exactly like what is Paul, for me, is very clear what he did. Very small village near the sea, very clear for me. Okay. Same thing, by the way, for Mauritania. Okay. For that, I worried sometime about other projects like Godfred project and so on, because he's jumping here and there. Okay, he's doing something for the poor, but not clear for me. Numbers is not clear, and I'm worried because it means in the end he will not show that he have a real story for the community. It might be a real story for him as an entrepreneur, but as an inspiring person, you can't prove that unless you see the effect on the community and how they are changing, their life, their attitude, their behavior, and so on. And this is where we begin to realize when we will believe that I will not accept that I will not say what is happening to me, but what is happening from me. Like alhamdulillah, I managed to say, and I claim that I have the youth spirit even stronger than you. You have the youth energy, but youth spirit, I might claim, even better than my children. Sometimes I tell them, okay, which all of you is like my children. I'm telling you frankly, why? Because I dare to take risk, I dare to try, and I like to try things that I'm not used to. Okay, and this is where we can make a change in our life, and this is where we build the real necessity and address really the issues of diversity, the inclusion of the poor, or inclusion of any community. And this is what is Inspiration Economy logo. Inspiration Economy logo is about curious observations. It's very simple logo. Okay, curious observations. Nobody did it for me, by the way. Just for me, I drawn it by my hand, and then I told my son, just do it for me like this with this color. Okay, everybody say, oh, this logo is very nice. Like I tell them, this is because it came from the heart and the empathy and the experience. Okay, it comes about inspiration logo is about 2 cycles. The first cycle is about awakening the mindset through observation. I take an observation, my mindset start to be awakened. Okay, it's not what it did not yet reach so far, the absorption stage or realization stage, but it starts to be awakened. Oh, well, there is a problem. Really, there is a problem. Even though I'm in the same road every day, I used to see these people, I used to see this issue, but I did not see it in a proper way. Now, when I started to do the observation in a proper way, I started to see also the opportunities. The second cycle How can I develop the mindset now? Through observation. How can I explore the new opportunities through observation? And this will lead us to, and now we start to select and accelerate change in a proper way. And we start to see that we can be avoiding the, the problem of solving problem through capital-based economy, as we said before. Capital-based economy problem means I want resource solutions. A doctor tell me do a research. I tell him, but give me some references, give me something like this. And the more you depend on the doctor, and he tell you what's going to be in the exam. I mean, your professor, or someone tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, do that, and you'll reach this conclusion. Then you are a follower. You did not really explore problem in a proper way. Okay. So, and this type of, by the way, solutions, they usually bring problem over time. Either they problem for you or a problem for the community. You can see now, for example, today, how many times, if you notice, and in your village, in your cities, how many times they did the road, okay, because they increased the number of the lanes in the road. But you can see after a time, and it's not enough. Still, again, the traffic congestion started to be again, okay, because they think only materialistic. They think about how many number of lanes. Yani in New York, in Dubai, the number of lanes, you know how many in highway? We have 8 lanes, 8. Okay, 8 lanes per direction. Still, it is busy, and you can sit in hours in the car. Okay, but when we start to see things in different way, and we start to say, no, I need to see the hidden opportunities in the problem. Okay, why we don't change people attitude? Why didn't we change the time? Why don't we change the lifestyle? Why don't we work from home? Then we don't need that much roads, like the Corona time. Okay, why we are making people, and we are, for that we are having the most mental health in this region now. Many people, they are stressed, they have dementia, they have anxiety. Okay, they take lots of medicines, psychotropic drugs, because of what? Because of all these materialistic approaches that we are having. So the more we are selective and curious in our using these opportunities together, the more we build interdependent communities. And this is what we are missing in developing countries. Okay, actually now, I find that all the world is developing countries. None of the world is developed countries. Now we can see even Europe, they show now, after this energy crisis, after Corona, after this conflict of Russia and Ukraine, and all of them are really dependent, dependent on resources, and they are not independent as they used to tell us. Okay, so the more we are independent, the more we are self-sufficient, the more we can depend solutions to problems without depending on resources or minimal resources. I can't say, still we are paying $300. Your time is money. Your thinking is money. Okay, the only difference, and I want to show this community, in only the $300 our time you are donating it, which is much more than the money. I mean, your time, not only my time. The thinking you are giving is much more than $300 or thousands of dollars, but still you want to give them this capacity. You want to put this chip like a coin of inspiration in their mind. You can do it. You can do it. It's not happening. What's happening to you? It's what's happening from you. If they start to believe that, they will start to go through different cycles, and they'll start to be semi-independent first, and then become independent through these clear observation. Remember, we have now as inspiration, guys. You are the leaders now. This is the cohort of 2022. You are our first official cohort, we can say. Your job, your main job is in reality to push people from here to here. Most people, they have their frontal lobe is as small as the rat. See the rat, the frontal lobe is not there. Very small point. When it comes to the cat, it is little bit there. Very small. When it comes to the chimpanzee, it's very similar to us, but our frontal lobe, where our mind, our brain is made from 4 lobes. Okay, our frontal lobe is much more developed, and it is much more developed. Why? Because God has put in a human the capacity to associate much more than the nearest animals to us, which is this animal, okay, which is chimpanzee. So our ability to associate is already built in. I'm not even telling you be يعني Superman or Superwoman. I'm telling you, use your capacity that is not being used. So it will need some time. You can't solve it with this first project, for sure. You can't solve it with 6 months. But the more you go to the field, the more you train yourself on whatever I'm telling you, the more you'll see, oh, I can be much better than Dr. Buhajji. I thought Dr. Buhajji is Superman. I thought Dr. Buhajji is a millionaire because he's fat. He's using his energy. He has a lot of energy, no? Fat people. For that, he's using his energy to travel the world. And no, because I've seen how much wealth I have within. Okay. And actually, you have much more opportunity than me now because you are much younger than me. I discover myself, I told you, I am now 60. So I feel I am only 15 years old. Why? Because only I discover myself and my real wealth and after 45 years. Okay. So very important that we think this way so that we start to use the observation, okay, to do a proper absorption, to do a proper reflection, which means we start to see and explore what we don't know. What we don't know is we must be, as I told you, inspiration economy is about 3 issues. Okay, but I say it in Arabic than in English. تواضع, تحديد, تركيز means to be humble, very humble. Okay, sometimes if you are not humble, you try to do humility for yourself to be humble. Okay, if you are a Muslim or you are Hindu, whatever, you're a Christian, just bow, sit on your knees, put your head in the floor, say, God, I am a slave, I am your slave, and we are only slave of God. Okay, whatever we are, whatever level we are only slave of God. We're gonna leave this world. Who we are? We are not, we are nothing compared to the greatness of God. Whatever we are, we think we are great. The more we are humble, the more we remember it is about not how much we know, it is about how much we don't know. So the more you remember that the amount what you don't know is much more than what you know, you start to ask these questions. Okay, you start to ask these questions that will change your mind. First, I want to understand the extent of the problem. I will stop in this slide, by the way. Okay, the extent of the opportunities that is available in this problem. As I told you, the larger the problem, the larger is the opportunities. And the deeper I go with the observations and I go back to the field, the deeper I will find the opportunities. And instead of running and doing business, and this I'm telling even guys like Hin who have been now working their projects about 3 years or more, like Godfred and Paul, okay, and others in Mauritania and so on. The more they go observe, and they do, they stop every 3 months and they observe about their project, their family achievements, they do measurement, the more they gonna go deeper in finding better opportunities for themselves and for the others. And for that, we start here. After we start to understand the problem, the opportunities, and so on, we start to see what are the gaps within the community that make this community more flourishing, can function better, can solve problem in reality in a proper way, and what are things that will help us to eliminate waste related to our capacity. You remember what I told you, 4 C's. If you want to know the 4 Ds, you want to achieve your 4 Ds, you have to know your 4 C's. Your 4 Ds I did not tell you. I told you today only the 4 C's. So now I'll tell you what are the 4 Ds. If you start to really believing in yourself that you can create a change, it means you have a dream. Okay. You remember Muhammad Ali, you remember Martin Luther King, you remember Gandhi. Google them, they tell you I have a dream. And they will use the word I believe. So they believe in your dream like I believe now you are in reality, even though I did not see you in physical, I see you through Zoom. Okay. So this is the way they believe about their dream. Okay. This dream, what they did with it, they did it, they put it in a level of desire. It became their day-to-day desire. Every day they wake up for their dream. They get up from even if they are tired, even if they are punished, even if they are failed, even if they put them in jail, if they even like Muhammad Ali Klai, they kick him out of the boxing ring, they pull his award, whatever, still he get up in the morning, he say, I can do it. Okay, so this is the second D. The third D, we said dream, desire, then dedication. He's dedicated for his life. He's dedicating his life. He's sacrificing his family time. He's sacrificing his leisure time. He's sacrificing his maybe, livelihood time. He could have made much more, money for his life or for his family. He's sacrificing many things for the sake of his dream, because he knows his dream will create for him a legacy. So after we said dream, desire, dedication, determination. He's so determined that he's passionate. Passionate means what? Means he's persistent and perseverance. He don't take things for granted. He don't stop when he fails. The more he fails, the more he knows he's gonna be succeed. Okay, so this is where it will take us to the other level. Okay, that we'll see things, alternatives inside each opportunity, inside each challenge, and then we'll start to eliminate the challenges through exploiting different community assets, and then we continue piloting the project. I wanted to give you an example. I'm not sure if we are near this example or not. So let me give you an example so that you don't feel, and I'm giving you theory, because I don't want you to feel we are in university. I will lecture you like a university. No, even in university, by the way, don't lecture like university. I'm disruptive teacher, by the way, or professor. This is a real example of what is Bahrain used to be about more than, let's say, 15 years ago. Okay, this is the real example from the highways, from the accidents we have. Now we start to see this in India, by the way, a lot, because India has started to build more highways. India used to not have that much highways, and so people start to speed up now much faster. Anyway, so we used to have this fatal accidents, despite we have, the radar put everywhere. We have, the cameras, we have all these things. Still, we started to see these accidents everywhere. And, this is part of the projects that I did with the government. With all those, I work with different, 66 organizations, government organizations. One of them is the police, especially the traffic police. So when we started to put in the Bahrain map where these accidents happen, okay, even though these points, you can see them, they are red, we call them black spots. Black spot means that many fatal accidents happen there. Either people died, okay, or people has been amputated, or people has been admitted to hospital and stayed for a long time, or it was really accident that is the car was cancelled and people should have bought, something happened to them, but alhamdulillah, with minimal accident. But I mean major accidents, and like these cars, this is called major accident. So this is, by the way, Bahrain is very small, and this is covering now, because the downside of Bahrain population is less, upper side population is more. Okay, as you can see, the more you go north, the more people will speed. Okay, and also the more you see that where is many dots, it means any changes you're gonna do in any of the roads. If I start working, working on this road. Okay, use the laser. If I work on this road itself, I will save about what? At least 30% of the accidents in Bahrain. Am I right? So for that, I focus on these roads. I start to focus on these roads, because these roads will bring for me, like, until the government, you have to solve all the roads at one time. They will tell me, we can't bring the budget for that. So I started to focus again in this area, and I started to take these roads. As you can see, these used to be the roads, and this is one of the accident the road. Okay, the only difference in these roads, as you can see before, they didn't have this line. If you can notice from this road, is that now this is from observation, right? When I go to collect observation, see, even before even with the putting this so that people does not pedestrians, they don't cross the road, still people cross the road. See, they jump over the cage. I seen it this also in India, and they want to, but here people are speeding at least 120. And the road, if you notice, it is curved. It is not straight road. Okay, it didn't have this blue line. Okay, so what the basic thing I did is what we call it countermeasure. If I start a project that is relevant to people life, threatening life, we can do what we call countermeasure. Means we do something very quickly. Will not wait till the road change. Our proposal is to change the road. Okay, but this is influencing with power. What can I do as expert? I influence without power. So what I did, I told them, let us now paint, put these paints, this they force the, make the car shake, heavy paint, this yellow paint, so that they have to reduce the speed. The more we put these, we'll make them reduce the speed by force. And as you can see, we started to put this and around the fit. These are the points again. You can't see them all, but here are the points where many accidents has happened. And this is the road that I started to change. Okay. And what we did, we call it codification, as I told you. And we have 3 levels: codification, classification, stratification. So I did the codification. Where is red? Where is green? Where is no accident? Where is accident? This is codification, means two-dimensional thinking. And even these are the name of the road. If you notice, okay, the name of the road and what are the status. Where is the accident happened? Okay, and we started to monitor how to minimize these accidents to the minimum. I think I need to stop here, but I wanted to give you a glimpse of how much you are talking about opportunity. I did not cover even half of what I wanted to say, but at least I know we started something so that I don't delay you to go and think that deep. See, I told you guys, and I told Paul when we started this internship, before we start, I used to talk to Paul a lot about this. I said we'll have 3 types of interns. Okay. One intern I will not count. There are 4 types. One already they will get out without finishing the internship. Already we had, I think, 1 or 2. Already they are out. Okay. And maybe we have more next. I don't know. We will not do the project. We'll consider them to be out also. Okay. So this will not count. But we'll have interns that will give them attended, which is some of you, maybe this is their ambition. I hope none of you, but I'm saying maybe that they have attended the international inspiration project, this international organization program. Some of you will say, no, they have succeeded and started the project and they did the project. Some of you will be leaders. Already we know the leaders now, some of you. Already we know that these leaders, even if they say they want to leave us, we'll tell them, no, please, we want you. Okay. And we will pay them as much as we can, of course. And we don't have a lot of money for these projects, because most of our money goes for these small funds that we are doing. But we will pay them appreciation fee. Besides, they will be more experts and they'll build their expertise. So the more you go into this line, and this is the line. See, whatever we did in stage 1 was appetizer. The real food, the real beef, the real change, the real value added, the real who are you is in this stage. Okay, it is the stage where I will know who you are, what you are, why you are here, why you are in this world. I can tell you at the end of as being an expert, I will tell you directly who you are, what you are, and why you are here in this world. Okay, because I don't know everything, but I know whatever I will expose out of the way you're going to deal with the things. Even if you are sitting in Mozambique, okay, or countries where there is lots of problems or whatever, okay, and you don't have a net, if you want to do something, you can do something. Okay, don't tell me I don't have a proper net, don't have proper facility, I don't have. And some of you, even if they don't have net, they can have the WhatsApp. Yeah, we can train them through the WhatsApp. They can have the brief from their friends. Okay, the more you do something out of nothing or very little, the more you are really what? A legacy people. You create legacy. The difference between legacy people, inspiring people, and the rest is that they bring major changes with small leaps, with a small amount of money, with a small effort, with a small opportunity. From small opportunity, they create from it a big change. Thank you very much for listening to me, and apologize again for taking longer time. But I think it's worth it for you guys, because it will let you do lots of things in the future with this technique. Thank you. Remli.
Thank you so much, sir. So actually my internet is little unstable, but so Farheen will be taking over very soon. So, but I would really like to thank you for the wonderful presentation here, and I have even made the Muda Muri and Muda thing that you said. It is really inspiring, and the 3Ds, everything. Can we take some questions if the interns have some questions for you?
Appreciate. I wanted to tell you that. So thank you for this opportunity. And now I think the more will ensure that people are ready for the next stage, which is linking the opportunities and doing the projects in a proper way. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So please, interns, please raise your hands. Whoever has any question or any opinion or anything to share. Please raise your hands.
Or comments if you don't have a question, a comment of something that you can share with us, and we can learn from you also. We don't mind.
I join Miss Rimli to thank you, my dear brother, Professor Bouhaji, for this very interesting presentation. And with you, we learn a lot. A question, perhaps, with this kind of method, we will be able to eradicate poverty worldwide. So how much do we need to empower future user of this technique to eradicate poverty or to contribute to eradicate poverty worldwide? It's very good. And what is the very interesting, what is the performance about this? We can change a state, a situation, from one situation of poverty to another situation of wealth. What kind of the number which or the factor which we use to change this situation? For example, we go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. What is this? It's good to set up this kind of degree program worldwide in many universities to empower student and future user for this kind of method. So this is a good thing. That's why I follow you very closely to understand very well this method. And I am very proud and happy to follow you, Mr. Bouhaji, and with your publication and with your literature, huge literature and documents. And thank you. Thanks again.
Thanks, Prof. Sayed. Yeah, thank you for your humbleness. And you commented on something that I want to comment. See, we can't. See, the people, the word empowerment, sir. Sometimes it is abused. Okay. We work on the. Even for example, we're well known what we call what is called, quote unquote, especially in developing countries. They call it, this is what United Nations put in our mind, women, empowerment, right? But in reality, we're spoiling women. If we do training for the women, sometime like we did in Bosnia, we seen, they train women to teach them tailoring. And then they train women to teach them German language. So what happened to the women in Bosnia? They migrate Bosnia, they live in Germany to become tailors. Okay, so the education system itself in Bosnia empowering people to learn different languages so that they migrate. And you go for many places in Bosnia, now they don't have elementary school, they closed the elementary school. They don't have intermediate school. Nobody there in intermediate school. Sometimes you don't have even high school in a complete city. I tell them why. They said nobody's there. Even University of Bihar, which I used to teach, they said now 2-3 departments they closed because most of the people are migrating. And this will happen also, by the way, in Tunisia or any other country, by the way, if we don't deal with things in a proper way. So for that, we believe in people development more than people empowerment, which means that people can really develop their mindset through doing, through being engaged with their community problem, not focusing on their self-development. And what is happening? Most of us, we became so lonely, so selfish, okay, that we became, let me show you this one. It's very dangerous. I know it's maybe it's out of our focus today, but let me show you what India will be, what Bahrain will be, what Tunisia will be in the next few years, okay? And maybe I'm not sure. Did you hear? You heard today about the accident, of course, and unfortunately in India about the bridge, but also you heard about the Halloween. Many people died in Korea. Am I right?
South Korea. Yes, sir. South Korea. 35
So
people.
yes, you can see why these people died. Loneliness. They know they don't have a purpose in life. Maybe they are too exaggerating about doing their celebration. Okay, let me show you this one. I have a book. I will send it to my friend. This is statistic that came recently from America. Okay, I'll share it with you now. Just a minute. This statistic is very dangerous, and I'm telling you guys, you have all the power, all the the chances to change this model in your country, at least in your community, and to the world. I can claim with you guys, some of you, I claim, I know now 30% of you, they'll be a strong leaders, whether they continue with us. But one of the things I will say, they have to use the mindset they are learning now. Okay. You can see this statistics is a real statistic in America. What does it say? It say that people with time, okay, what's happening to them? Their loneliness, they are becoming what? More. And what is happening to them? And I have a book, by the way, called Integrated Lines. It is in Arabic, خطوط متشابكة. Maybe it's interesting, Prof. Said, you read it, okay? It means I put statistics together to show you what's happening to the community or to the world. So what they are saying, and this is happening all over the world. I'm telling you, even I can see it. I can see it in my family. I can see it in myself. I'm becoming more lonely. I can deal with my friends, but most of the time over the phone and so on. I'm becoming less time, with my family, less time with my children, as you can see with these lines, okay? And you are seeing that, right? This graph?
Yes,
are you
sir.
seeing? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then I'm becoming less to see my friends, especially after COVID and so on. And I'm not sitting with my coworkers. Most of us, we speak over the, over the net or over Zoom and so on. This is what's happening to the world. So the world is full of problems that can be tackled in different ways. So let's avoid the word, I claim, the word empowerment, because it is misused, Dr. Sayed. We should not use it anymore. Let's talk about development, which means I can't develop you as a person, develop myself. I'm talking about myself. I can't develop myself or my community. You cannot change people unless you change yourself. How you change yourself? Through changing your people. Unless you go to the community, you can't change yourself. You can't change yourself by reading Quran alone, by praying yourself. I claim it's not this is not life, and this is not Jannah or hereafter you'll be praised not because of your prayer, but how much you contribute to this humanity. This is one of the tests from God. Whatever is your religion, if you are living for yourself, it's different when you live for others and you make a difference in the community life and so on. And this is where development will happen only. Okay. So this is maybe my comment about the word empowerment. Okay, any other question?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Issa, your hand was raised, I guess. Do you have any doubt? And thank you so much, doctor, for your question. And anyone who wants to, yeah, Sumaya, yeah, please ask.
Assalamu alaikum. Well done, sir, with this wonderful presentation and slides. Actually, I felt so intimidated by the by the graphics and also the design. Anyway, you talked about development. Are you talking about development in terms of environmental development, or are you talking about development in terms of human development? I want to understand this clearly. Like here, I understand that when we focus or we give more attention to personal development, that will lead into environmental development. Are you emphasizing on personal development, or are you emphasizing on development generally as a term? I was thinking development as a concept. If it's a concept, I don't know which prism or angle you're talking about. I would like to understand.
First of all,
better.
because maybe, mashallah, you are a reader, I will advise you to go for one of my books, which is I consider it like a breakthrough book, because my breakthrough, I shifted from technology, I was technology guy to be human side guy, away from technology, opposite. I changed my life because I found the real breakthrough that we need today is not going to Mars, as I told you, or not going to the moon, or make a settlement there, or something like now these guys are thinking, the rich people are thinking. The real breakthrough that we need for humans. Okay, so any development, we mean by it here, you can't, by the way, can you do environmental development without human development? No. Can you do environmental development without, sorry, if you become dependent on personal development? No. Because we've been talking about personal development for many years. But personal development built inside us chips, which we became more selfish. To become more selfless, I not say to be 100% selfless, because no one can become, even Gandhi, even our prophet, he can't be selfless 100%. They contributed, they sacrificed, but they can't be selfless 100%. But at least they try, we try. We try to remove some of the selfish that is putting us so much deep that we can't see the opportunities around us. We can see only the problems. So for that, we became a blame culture. We are hiding away. And by the way, the more technology that is coming to us, even the VCR technology, and the virtual reality I'm talking about, they will come that one day we'll see the world only whatever we would like to see. Okay, we'll put this virtual reality camera and we'll sit at home and we'll start to order things. I will never go outside our friends from the camera only. That's much that we're gonna, this is a known future. The futurists like me, they are talking about this already. Okay, but if you want real human development, that will lead to the other development, like environmental development, again, social development, revolutionary. We need to have a revolution in social development. I'm saying this in our country. Yesterday, I had very strong lecture about that. Okay, that unless we solve this problem, we'll end up in every big house, a mother that is having dementia, like my mother now. She's alone in a big house. Okay, no extended family. The children or grandchildren will come once a week, say hello, mother. Okay, she's the more dependent on servants. She's not living quality of life. Okay, nobody cares. Okay, this is what is happening with the money, more no real development. There was focus on the personal development. Okay, so real development for social asset, for physical asset, for natural asset is about human development. It's not about personal development. Not even human empowerment. This is what I was saying about what we did in Bahrain. You know what we did in Bahrain? I did the national plan. Me and Dr. Dunya. National plan for Bahrain is 10-year plan. It's just finished. The guys in the government here, or the Women Council, used to say in the earlier plan, it is how many women become minister. This empowerment, Dr. Sayyid also. How many women they have become entrepreneurs? How many women will become a professor? Like this, in numbers, okay? This is real to show to measure the number of empowerment. I said, okay, I don't understand that. Because, okay, if I empower these women, will my community change and develop? Because if women, as I know, if women develop, why we are calling for women development? Not because she's better than man only. I know that she's better than man in many things, by the way. But it is because if she develop, the community will develop. First, the family will develop. But the way they are saying the numbers before, 10 years ago, it means what we ended up having after 10 years from that plan, before we start our plan, more divorce, more women becoming selfish. They bring labor from outside, but many people in Bahrain here, I mean, even women, Bahraini women, they don't have jobs because they prefer to have a low-cost labor. Okay, they never thought about their national labor and so on. And this is happening all over the world. The more people think, and they, by the way, that we notice, the more, did you see the statistics now? I showed you, just visualize the statistics. Now what I'm going to say. You remember I said, well, the more loneliness, the more we are getting, less family time, less and so on. Same thing in Bahrain was happening. The more we have women that is entrepreneurs, the more we are having family instability. Divorce is more. It was increasing. Okay, the drugs was increasing and so on. So what is the use? When we started women development, it's totally different. How many women, they have a stable family and they are becoming entrepreneurs. And they are changing their community. That's the number I'm looking for. Okay. Not how many women have salary more than, let's say, $2,000 that they use to measure, for example. I don't care. Why should I care about someone? She's working selfish for herself. Okay. But what she's doing to the contributing to the community from the social asset, natural asset, human capital asset, physical asset. Okay. And then the financial asset. See, all the measures before was financial related assets. Why our measures? No, it's about developing the community. So we call this, by the way, okay, it's in Arabic, by the way, Dr. Said, he'll notice. What I did, I told you, I work like my young children when they were asking what you call stupid question or simple question or curious question. Okay, I said, I don't know what means النهوض بالمرأة, means empowering women. I know نهوض المرأة means that the woman, if I empower a woman for herself, then it's wrong. But if I develop women so that she develop the society, نهوض المرأة means in Arabic يعني, it means that she will develop, I develop her for the sake of the community, for the sake of her family, for the sake of herself, and then her family, then her community, then her village, then her country, then the world, then this is my goal. So this is what I'm, and I hope I answered you. I'm not sure, Sumaya, did I answer you or not? Okay. Sumaya, did I answer you?
Sumaya, can you please reply?
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you for that
Okay.
clarification. Thank you.
Yes. So we also had one hand from Isa. Isa, do you have any question?
Yes. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam.
I thank you. I thank you first of all, Allah, and I thank Dr. Bahaji for his wonderful presentation. And I thank all those who have attended this meeting. It is a great honor to be with you now. Dr. Bahaji has pointed out about the interns and the progress and the intentions. What I can talk about in this, it is just like something on which I want to address to all the people or interns and Dr. Bahaji in general. There is something I have noticed in some of our interns, which may hinder our inspiring our societies when we finish this internship. Many of our interns think have still hold many misconceptions about IIE. They still think that this is a charity organization, but I would like to inform that it goes otherwise. This is not charity organization. It is non-profit organization. I sometimes hear them saying, why don't they give us money for buying credit for our phones to try to follow the meetings? Imagine, they still ask themselves such kind of questions. That's why I am very sad, because they take for granted this opportunity of joining this venture that we have been given. Can you imagine? I want to address this problem that this internship is our priority, not our alternative. Some of interns disobey their team leaders. When a team leader gives him a task, he disobeys him. How can we inspire societies when we are still thinking about it like this? We want to work for profit, but instead of thinking about the society, instead of thinking about our communities, we are only thinking about our profits. Brothers and sisters, is this good? I want to make it clear that we are striving to make our communities better. That's why we take our time to run, we take our time to observe, we take our time to explore and see what our communities needs. Because when our communities are satisfied, we get satisfied as well. So this is to inform all interns, and this is to address this problem to Bheji, that some interns are taking this internship for granted. Maybe he will give us some tips and he will take time to refute those misconceptions, because those misconceptions are running and they're getting many. The brother Paul has done his best to always remind us that we must be proactive in doing assignments, in correcting data, in putting together to do our assignments. But some interns are still neglecting their readers. It's not only my group, my team, in all teams. But what is saddening me is that many Rwandan interns, not only in my team, they still hold misconceptions about this internship. They still have misconceptions about IIIE. And this saddens me so much. This internship is very profitable. So since we're taking it for granted, it is a very bad thing. Brothers and sisters, I want to make it clear again, let's work, let's run a road. We have thought many projects that we had never thought before joining this venture. So we have to take this opportunity. We have to hold it strongly. If not, it will be loss for us and for our societies. We need to inspire societies. How shall we inspire societies when we are putting a private profit before community profits? It will be bad for us. The team leaders have been addressing those problems to Paul, the interns who don't know to work. Paul wanted them, but where it is now, I want to address this problem to Bheji. Maybe he may advise them. He may advise them to stop this kind of behavior, because it is not good for the person who is preparing themselves to be a role model for the societies. Because we are the future professors, we are the future teachers, we are the future entrepreneurs, we are the future businessmen. How can we do that when we are thinking about ourselves only? It will not be good. I may have taken a lot of time. But
okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Your point is clear, Brother Isa. Thank you, and I thank you for your passion about inspiration economy. We know that people like you, they are gonna make the difference. Always we can say the English proverb, okay, can bring the horses to the water, you can't force them to drink. Some of you, they know how much I'm passionate about them, but I can't force people to. I can show them the direction. Even my children today, I can't force them. You are a generation that you're very independent. In mind thinking, not independent in the way independent from resources, unfortunately, You are totally dependent on resources, but independent in you don't want people to tell you go this way, this way. But what we know of, at least history, which is still, I think, most of you are getting lots of information because of social media about history. Who are the ones? We have the the story of the marshmallow. This technique. If you Google it, marshmallow a test, okay, or put it in YouTube, marshmallow experiment, well known. They bring children till today, and they do it in university, they do it in schools to just experience to see the people how they are reacting to a certain thing. And one of the techniques they started this called marshmallow. Marshmallow, the sweet one, like a cake, small cake. They bring children, 2 children, and they give them the cake, the small cake, the marshmallow. And they tell them, don't eat till we tell you eat. So they wait for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, then they say, nobody's coming. So some of them will eat. Okay. They studied after a while, these people, and they track them till they finish university, they go into their life, their family, whatever. And they found those who did not eat the marshmallow, the cake, because they told them don't eat it, they are the most successful. Those who said, no, it is all about money and we need the money. Okay, let him give us the money, or let, whatever, okay. Those are the short-sighted. They might make profit in the beginning, but in the end, they drop down. Okay, most of life curves, it's, we call it the bell curve, right? The bell curve. It is like U-turn. You go up and down. Inspiration economy, if you notice in our logo, we say go up and little down, but then again, because your mindset is different, you can use the down to go up again. So it is like, again, small cycles that take you to in a spiral way towards a better impact on the world. Most of the people, even entrepreneurs, and they start very large and then they become fade. Okay, we can see this a lot today, and very short fades. Humans are now becoming very quick success stories, very quick failures. Okay, they don't see it as a story of life. Another story, very quick story, which is again very important for you. So Ramli, I think we got late for the other teams, but this is very important point. Is we will say in Arabic, there is 2 guys who were breaking stones. When he asked why you are breaking the stone, they are sitting near each other. He said, I don't know. They told me to break stone. I'm waiting for something next. The other guy, when they told him why you are breaking stones, he said, I'm building a palace. I'm building a mosque. I'm building a big thing that's gonna change the world. Okay. So who you think will gonna continue to break the stones and be patient and be persistent, and they have perseverance? This, he knows why he's breaking the stone. Okay, why he's in this program. As I said this earlier, maybe you are not there, and they will have 3 types of interns in this program. The 4th I don't count, that will come and go, they will not finish the project, they will not finish like this. I don't count. But even the ones who will get the project and they think, oh, we got the $300, for example, to do something, okay, we failed, but we learn, we got the certificate, that's it. Short-sightedness. And most of the people, for that, who's leading the world today? Leading the world, the 5%. These 5%, either they got money and they are controlling the world, or those who are having influence on the world because they are creating a change in the world. Whether change we like it or not is something else. But they have a long sightedness. Whatever war is happening today is about, again, short-sightedness and long-sightedness. Okay. So here where we'll make a difference, and here where we need to be patient. But what you can do, you ask me what we can do. What we can do is that always we test them so that we don't say tomorrow, oh, I wish I tested them more. So that you don't feel the guilt. Okay. And some of you have gone through this experience. I test 1 time, I'm patient 2nd time, I'm patient 3rd time. I don't cut the rope. Until the rope not anymore cannot handle the relation. So that time it is not healthy relation. better you cut it. Okay, but this decision, you can't do it early. You have to wait, because many people, by the way, from experience also, that I thought they can't do something, they did better than what I expected. And many people that I trusted them, and we thought they're going to do changes, with time, they didn't do the change that we expected. So this is, again, you can't judge people by short experience. Okay, and your job as a leader, Isa, and this is where the good leader is to change the people behavior as much as you can. If you fail to change the people behavior, actually you are changing your behavior, which is the most important. This is what is the Quran saying, or most of our religion says. Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Jewish, all of them, they say the same thing, is that you can't change people unless you change yourself. The more you try to change people, the more you are changing yourself. To the better, I mean. Okay, so that's what the good thing about it. So be patient, inshallah, and you will achieve, inshallah. I think Remli has put it for you, the marshmallow experiment. Okay, so can we hear now? I think we can start taking the two projects, maybe each one 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So the team 1 and team 4 are ready, and Farheen will be doing the slideshow since my network is little unstable.
Okay.
So Khadija and Jumapili, Verity, please begin. So team 1, Verity, please start.
Just let me know when we change the slide. Team 1 ready? Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Verity from Rwanda, and I'm going to be presenting our assignment on week 5 and 6. It's about exploratory visit. Next slide. As we have make an exploratory visit, we have proposed a carpentry-based recycling. Based on our exploratory visit we have made. First of all, carpentry-based recycling, it's carpentry project of transforming old and broken home furniture like chairs, desks, tables, cupboards, and beds into new ones. So it's really highly focusing on renewing and repairing all the furnitures into new ones to be reused. Next slide. The targeted community, we have visited a community in Nyagatale. Nyagatale in East Africa. It's one of district of East Africa in Rwanda. In this area where we have conducted our observation, we found some damaged, blocked, and old furnitures like tables and chairs that are considered as wastes. Sometimes those furniture that are considered as wastes are thrown everywhere, that causes environmental degradation. Next slide. We are going to see what clearly exists in this community. I have conducted our visit. In our field study observation, we visited a carpentry center, and we met several carpenters in the carpentry center. Most of carpenters were men, and we surprised to find that the woman who was carpenter, I was not, it was not normal to find such a woman who has engaged in such career. The woman we meet with is called Fanny. She told us more about her journey to carpentry. She's a mother of 2 children, and she's now pregnant still, but she's still working. Instead of asking everything to her husband, she decided to searching something to do for earning money. Next slide. You can ask yourself why she has joined a carpentry as her career. The first reason is that this career is profitable. She is trained by her father, who was carpenter. That is why she joined carpentry. And this career of carpentry is community oriented, to mean that community needs some materials produced by this the carpenter center. That is why she decided to join this career. She always desired for self-esteem. She was a woman, and she is now a woman who detested to ask everything to her husband. Next slide. Those pictures are depicting or showing some her clients coming from taking their materials that are well done by that woman. Next slide. And we are going to see what does not exist or what is not clear in community. The problem that are there in that carpentry center, there where we have visited where we have conducted our observation, there are poor technology, lack of enough capital, lack of wide market, lack of professionalism, and its environment degradation. But there are also possible solutions. The possible solution that can be go in hand with what technology is modern technology. And they need also enough capital to invest as a woman. Also, another possible solution is global market. They need a global market for expansion of their product. They need also professional training and environmental protection. As you have decided to make this project, it is environment project protection because we focused on recycling. Next slide. What is not problem in the community? There are good governance. There are also political stability and security. There are resources that are available here in where we have conducted our observation, and the community oriented where community needs those products. Next slide. And you are going to see how those points can make a real and productive and an impact to the community. This project we have chosen. Women empowerment. First of all, women need to be empowered. We can motivate and encourage youth especially the girls to work, as we find that is not usual for women to engage in works like carpentry in Nyagatare community. They can use this by using cooperatives. As we visited Fanny, she was with 2 women interns who were learning from her. Then we discovered that women can make small cups so that they can work together to put product of carpentry from local market to global market. Next slide. We can ask ourselves toward the environmental degradation, and this business can reduce environmental degradation. For environmental conservation and protection, we decided to use recycling because as we found broken and old furniture thrown away and considered as waste, we got a new idea on how we can transform and repair those old furniture that are considered as waste to be transformed into new ones. Also, it is difficult to find lumber to make new furniture. As so many carpenters told us, it requires them high transport to carry the lumber from other communities where government authorized lumbering. We decided to use the recycling, so in case of deforestation may be reduced at certain level. I think, next slide. And this is the end of our presentation. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks a lot, my brother. Your name, brother? Because I've seen from Isa talking. Remind me your name.
My name is Very.
Very. Right?
Yes.
Okay, nice to hear from you. Anyway, I like, first of all, the issue that we are focusing on one community. And it's good, like, if we have the same story of Mauritania, like Mauritania, we spread in the beginning everywhere like this, but we found because the country is corrupted, not stable, whatever, best we focus on one community based on the people we trust and people we can check on. And we made a network of technique that we can check on this project. But for Nyagatare, what I like is that it will complement each other in the projects. If it does not complement each other, it's not good also in one community. This is what is good about Mauritania. You'll have bakery, you'll have fast food, you'll have laundry, you'll have these different things available there. Telephone, selling for accessories of telephones, whatever, different, about 13 or 15 type of businesses that we built over the last 4 years, which made the community flourishing. You can see that this village status is clearly changing. So it's good that you approach carpentry, because we did not tackle carpentry before, as Isa knows. But as you said, there is lots of difficulties in this project. Now, again, I told you, don't use the word, if you are working with the aspiration economy, don't use the women empowerment. Okay, we use the women development. Why? Because we believe is that we are developing the woman to develop her family, develop herself, her family, and her community. Empowering women is not our business. Okay, there is lots of NGOs, charity organizations, they work. We are not charity organization. You can call us more, we are a think tank. We solve problems. Okay, and means that we need a collection of women. We'll not talk about 1, 2, 3 women. Collection of women They'll do some type of wood-related work, since you have abundance of wood there in the north. MashaAllah, you have greenery, you have many things there. And they will, we will measure. Our problem is not empowerment of women. Our problem is what is the status of the woman, not even the skills of women. What is their status? What type of poverty they have? What type of challenges they have? How much their family respect them, or men respect the women? What's their real role in the community? Do they have effective role? Can they have better effective role if you do this project? That's the question that I need more for you to clarify. And you focus more on the how. Okay, how to. I'm talking about why to. Okay, why should I support this project? Why we should go for this project? That's the priority now. Okay, but thank you very much. It's very nice presentation. Thank you. Prof. Sayed, maybe you have something, Prof. Sayed, on this project?
I join you, Professor Bouhaji, to congratulate for this good presentation. And I think with the methodology to approach this kind, we have a huge culture. So he knows the problem of deforestation. And as you know, now in the European market, with the ODD, the Objective of Sustainable Development of UNESCO, they said that they don't accept a product which comes from deforestation. So it's good, this thing. We can link this project with the ODD, the obligation of sustainable development of UNESCO. So they are a good culture to take into account this factor and this element, which is not the UNESCO for the world of 2030, we are doing too. So Professor Bouhaji, it's a good culture about this project, especially with, as you said, the women development, etc. And the main point, deforestation. So we take care of our environment. It's a good thing. I notice and I congratulate him for this factor taking into account of his project. It's good, I think, that they are a sustainable improvement. And thank you, Professor Bouhaji, for your good project for this future later. Thank you very much.
Okay, I think Sumaya have. Go ahead, Sumaya.
Actually, okay, good evening. Well done, very good presentation, simple and precise. I was okay, are the women going into carpentry, they find that as a career, or okay, they did it as a substitute? I want to understand the concept of women going into carpentry, because this is very rare from this aspect. So I want to know, is this viable? Are the women taking carpentry as a career? Okay, this is off the topic. I'm just curious to know about this. And if they are, what's the rate of women that go into carpentry? Thank you.
And maybe I reiterate the question, Isa, and our friend who presented, I forgot your name, is that are you talking about carpentry really, or about woodwork? And if they are craft women, they are doing craft by their hand, using the wood, the extra, because also as Dr. Sayed said, you are not going to cut the wood, you're going to use the wood which is extra, which is abundant in your area. Can you comment, Isa, on that, this question?
This has been presented by Verite. I'm with him now, and his phone has network problems. He can answer it.
Yes.
We have found that here there are many women that have initiative to join that career, and they are availability of such a resource. That is why you have decided to choose that project.
But again, she's asking you, Sumaya, are you talking about carpentry? Means carpentry, really, and doing furniture, or or you mean woodwork and craft? And if it is carpentry, would it be accepted in the culture without resistance? Because we are talking about small projects, a short time in the beginning. We want to see the success story in 6 months, not in years. You know, we're not trying to change the community. Here, we are changing, or we are making model for the community to create the change.
Yes, it's called carpentry-based recycling by making furnitures.
From recycle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is you say there is people, there is women that's already working on that area.
Yes, of course, they are women.
Okay. Okay, I know that the Rwandan women are strong, mashallah. Yeah, so for that, that's not a strange story. I've seen that. Okay, so thanks a lot. Can we go for the next one then, Ramli? Or
Yes,
Farhan?
sir.
Yeah.
Please
Yes, sir.
continue.
So thank you for your words, sir. So is team 4 ready? Khadija, are you ready?
Yes, I am here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi, Khadija.
I'm sharing the
evening.
screen.
Yeah, thank you. Share for me.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, good evening once again. I am Khadija Mtesiwase. The previous slide, please. I am Khadija Mtesiwase from team 4 with team lead, and I'm going to present about and the observed opportunities. So I can, okay, this is the second slide, but I can continue with the, okay, I'm sorry for my voice, I have flu. I think it won't disturb you, right? Okay, what are the targeted communities? Are you hearing me?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
please continue. Please continue.
Yes,
Okay, I continue. What are targeted communities? So the targeted communities are Nyagatare, like Nyagatare district, and also the local farmers. So our visit mainly was based on the like observing like the mayor observation and also the interviewing. Like we did the interview part, like we would interview people where we were visiting, and of course we would link what the people said with what we really observed or explored. Next slide, please. Please change the slide. Okay, here are some of the photos that were taken by our member in Kigali, because where I visited was in Kigali, but we are targeting Nyagatare district. But this project is currently in Kigali. So it's rabbit farming. So you can see, this is one of our member. He's holding a rabbit, and here it's where they were being reared. Next slide, please. So a few of observations collect. So as I told you in the last like in previous meeting, so we first visited the Mirama, and I showed you the pictures, And the second visit was in Kigali, like for the farming. So, but this presentation, it's like combined the two visits. So I'm going to present about it. So our observations were based on interviewing. I talked about this. So our field visits were also made to people who live in mud house, where they also make their livestock farming. So we can, okay, let me continue. We visited potato pastry micro-industry and interviewed the proprietor, who informed us that the challenge that they encounter and what can be done to improve productivity of local small businesses. I think I presented about this like in the previous presentation about how we visited, and even with the picture, how we visited the potato pastry. And how they told us. Yeah, so next slide. So here are the problems that we saw. So regarding the market, we noticed that products that are being sold are not of good quality. Like product in general in the market, most especially in Nyagatare, like in Mirama. Market has no sufficient hygiene because of polyethylene bags and leftover food materials that are thrown everywhere. Here also it is in Mirama in Nyagatare district. Sellers has no adequate customer care. Food stuff are more expensive than other commodities. Poor conservation of agricultural production. This is also in Mirama. And difficult transportation. There are also many people, typical children, who are malnourished or malnourished. Next slide, please. This one. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, I need the photos that show.
You want the other observation photos one?
No, this one. Like the pictures that shows.
Yeah, I know what you're speaking, but just give me 1 second. It's not getting it. Just a second.
Okay, you can go to the previous slide and I present. Maybe I will make the pictures later.
This one, right?
No, not these ones. Not these ones. So this was in the previous presentation. But let's continue the other one.
So you want me to present the other presentation you're being presented, this one?
Yeah, let's continue this one. Next.
Okay, sure.
Next. Next. Okay. So this picture that you're seeing, like this previous picture, it's about the project that we are about to, like that we saw. It might be of like great benefits if we apply it or establish it here in Nyagatare. So let me just continue with the problems, then I will come back to the picture. Regarding the rabbit livestock farming, we noticed that it is being done traditionally. That is in Kigali, like the other farm that I told you of rabbit farming. Those who are them have no proper skills to preserve their farming. They are given inappropriate nurture, which worsen their increasing. Like the rabbits are not given, like are not well nourished or fed so that they can increase the productivity or even like increase the biomass. Yeah, like the biomass, or even reproduce more. Another thing is that many of the rabbits die because of bad condition on which they are living in. As you saw in the previous picture, you can even notice how they are being reared. They're just on the bare land. They are not like, I thought you saw it in the picture, like in the mud house. there is no proper hygiene, like the feeds, they are being fed with the feed on the bare floor, like they don't have feeders or drinkers. Yeah, next slide, please. So here are identified socio-economic problems. Many people are committed to work, like in general, like our exploratory visit. Here are some of socio-economic problems that we realized or saw. So many of people are committed to work, but they lack business management skills such that to establish dynamic, profitable businesses. Like they really want to work and they are courageous, but they don't have like skills to maintain their business and become successful. They always, or most of the time, make losses. The traditional customs of the people of the community still hinder them to commence projects. Yeah, like some of them, they don't believe in projects. They even, we interviewed some of them and said, okay, businessmen are born. Like you can't become a businessman if you are not gifted with that thing. They believe that doing business, it's not something that you can learn and do it successfully. They think that maybe doing business, it just being born with it or gifted with that skill, which is wrong. And youth are still given inferior value, which means that the average of high and even lack of professionalism within the business activities, as I said on the first point. Next slide, please. So what is not clear and what do not exist in our targeted communities, like the Kigali community that we visited and even here in Nyagatare, there is lack of modernization, like it's not clear, and gender inequality, lack of usage of innovation for existing businesses. We didn't really explore more about these points. And also we didn't even found any point that can make it clear to us. Being expensive of, the expensive of like agricultural products are expensive, and even in Mirama, in their economic activity are agriculture activities. So we didn't really match the idea of how their agriculture products are expensive and even they perform more agricultural activities in their community. Like it wasn't really clear to us. Another point in usage of natural resources and also lack of recycling production. Next slide, please. So as I told you, a little about it. So basing on our exploratory visits, we have got idea of doing this project as the other picture show, the other picture. Here is some of, this is apiculture, rearing of bees. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah, this is also another technique. You can rear it in that way or this way. But we are proposing to use this, previous slide, please. We are proposing to use this way, like hanging it over the trees like this, because it's cheaper and even it attracts more bees compared to the other previous picture. Yeah. Next slide, please. So this is honey. Next slide. So you can ask yourself, what is apiculture? As I told you, it's the maintenance of bee colonies commonly man-made hives so hives are those like wooden, it might be wooden, but in modern apiculture, they use even other materials. So yeah, hives by human for honey production with aim of using it for medical, nutritional, or even business profit. That is what apiculture means. It's just rearing of bees for money, for medical purposes, or even for nutrition. There are some of the people who rear bees for just production of milk, like for subsistence. Next slide, please. So you can ask yourself why we have chosen this project. Like here in Nyagatare, you can see most of part here, it's like most of the part here is not equipped or even reside in, like there is very low population, and there is a very open land or even rangeland where we can establish the bee. Like here, for instance, where we have chosen to establish our apiculture farming, you can see how attractive it is to bees, and bees, most of especially, they like the green color, and yeah, somewhere that is open and where they wouldn't have distractions, where there is no reach of children because they are even dangerous. So we saw that it can be very good project for this community, and even, yeah, thank you. Next slide. So you can ask yourself why, like the benefits of beekeeping. Beekeeping requires minimal capital resources. Like it does not need many licenses. Like it doesn't need like many legal license to establish it or start it. It is compatible with Nyagatare climatical conditions. As I told you, it really fits in this climate and in this Nyagatare community, as it is very low populated, and it has very many or even very large rangeland where we can establish it. Yeah. Another thing, it has high profit. Like 1 liter costs $8 in Rwanda. We have also honey served to improve health standard of people. It is highly demanded at international markets. It is not harm to environment, like it is environmental friendly. Like bee really needs they really need an open area where they can be reared, and they really don't need to be distracted, because when you distract them, then they become dangerous to you. Like they beat you, and it's very painful. And also it does not it give employment opportunities. It can be done by people irrespective of sex, like it can be done by anyone, and the source of taxes and revenue for the country. Like when we are rearing bee and we want to sell the honey, it can be even the source of income for the country. And also if we expand it, and maybe we reach at the extent of exporting it on the international markets, yeah, we can have foreign exchange even in our country. Next slide, please.
We can make it a little quick, Khadija, because time is running. Yeah, all right.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have also requirement for starting our apiculture business. We need wooden beehives, as I told you, project location site. There are very many here, and they can accommodate our project. Well, we need also honeycombing materials and outfits, and also some of miscellaneous expenses. Next slide, please. So here is the profit structure, how we would make profit and maybe have something to give to the community because of the profit we are making. Next slide. I think this is the last one. Yeah, it's the last one. How will this business be important for the community and the owner? I mean, if we are doing it, how would it be important for us and even for the community in general? Since our community is our target, we would sell our production to the community at affordable prices with aim of facilitating medical and nutritional service within the community. As owners, we have very productive for us since it has demanded, and the profit that we would obtain from this project would serve to improve our standard of living and raise the economy of our families. Next slide. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Khadija. Very interesting and inspiring. And okay, you didn't work a lot on the slides, but the content is one of the highest contents that I've seen in all the projects. And maybe it will be a good model for others also to learn whatever I'm going to comment on the Khadija, since we are wrapping up this part of the observation. And we are going, and she's covered some opportunities anyway. We are going to the second part, which I needed to work more, including Khadija, but Khadija already maybe a little bit advanced. She started in the opportunity side. The other presentations, which I presented last time, they didn't have the chance. So next time we'll have still we're gonna meet again. We'll decide the time, agree on the time with Paul and Ramli, and then Farhan, and then we will tell you that you know, these guys to present again, you know, to finalize their project observation and opportunities, so that you start writing the project proposal and so on. Now, my comments on Farhan, it applies to everyone. Okay, you're supposed to do my comments to Khadija and team 4 is to apply to all the teams. You're supposed to collect scattered observation, like the way she said it. I did it in the beginning. Okay, they were scattered. So you observe, you are sitting in a room like me now. I can observe the pictures, I observe the light, I can observe the world map, but then I observe the details. Okay, what is behind the map, what is behind the light, what is behind, and so on. Okay, so this is the, gradual observation, which is she did, which is good. Then, which is she did very important, she started to use the form. She gone to the second form and started to use the second form. But I told you, and today I told you at least more emphasize, use the first form, which is to see whether your observation is value added or not. Okay, by whether they'll help you and so on. Maybe she did it, but she didn't mention it a lot in that thing. Just to tell you, and sometimes even without using the form, let's say you are in the field and we want to know your observation is valid, is value added or not. Okay, all observations are valid, as I said, but maybe they are value added or not. Which of these observations can be built as a story? Like, you know, I give you keywords and I tell you, make from these keywords a story. Same thing as your observation. Give each observation keyword. Okay, for example, you see people that they don't have good quality of life, whatever, you say poverty. You see natural resources, like she showed us in the picture, greenery, or green land, or organic plantation, country, whatever. Okay, so everything you can give it keyword, and then you start playing with this keyword to make your story, which will help you to visualize the story. Okay, because what we're missing now is that we don't know how to visualize, which we're going to cover later, hopefully, inshallah, before we conclude this internship. So how can we improve the use of, for example, I'll just give example from Khadija presentation. If I'm going to use some of her keywords, how can I improve the use of natural resources which is abundant and not used properly, through blah, 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 which could bring better equality. Okay, that's the story might be as example of how I'll use keywords. I like also what Khadija mentioned about selecting the community. Okay, still again, selecting the community means Negatara, why Negatara, what is the difference, what is the value of this community, and so on. So you need to defend why you chosen this community, not because you are unbiased, not because of something, no, because there is a reason behind that. And then you have to give the community a chance, even though you feel that some of them may be lazy, or they are, their mind is driven by shortcuts, something. Still, you need to give them a judgment with a small community. Don't go for big community trial. The good thing, and they also did what we said before, eliminated the waste. Okay, rabbit farming is easy business, but doesn't bring for you, and it is a risky business. Less risky business is the honeycomb. Okay, and more profitable. And I witnessed that because I myself, when I was there, I thought honey will be very cheap. When we check the honey, we see that it's not cheap, and in our country cheaper, and we bring different qualities also. But I mean, for Africa, it is good price, not low price, but good price, because the country there is green. So many people, even Rwanda people, they are buying from Negatara or that area. They are buying the honey when they go back to their to Kigali or the capital area. But what is missing, which is I want you now to think about, Khadija and Isa will help you, inshallah, in this project and others, and Negatara, is the packaging. You don't have proper packaging. Okay, so this is the market niche. This is where I want to focus on more, because this will help me to address the environmental issue, like Dr. Said mentioned. I will address through it the equality. I will use the easy access, and maybe if I put the touch of, the organic and no pesticides. And I said honeycomb. See, I did not mention honey, because you mentioned honey. I said no, honeycomb. Why? Because honey is abundant a lot, and even in Rwanda, but honeycomb is not. Okay, you cannot make honeycomb easily. I mean, it have to be in the big cell, and every time you have to make it. Honey will be much more in kilos, but honeycomb will be less. The more, the better the honeycomb. Also, the better the value. And the honeycomb always in demand around the world, not only in. So here, where I can specialize in. Why I say this? Because I want to raise the profit margin of these members of this cooperative or something like this. Okay, and I think this project, it will be successful, hopefully. If you're not, see, success is different levels. Successful, and it is making money for those people who's gonna work on it. Yeah. But more profitable if it makes a difference in their life, a major difference in their life. They become more independent. And here is the challenge. And can you really sell and package the product? And instead of you do the honey in the beginning, ya Khadija, I will go and I start with the packaging. So I'll put my $300 in selecting and trying where? The packaging side. If I improve the packaging, the way they put it now is not enough, not a proper way, if you notice, okay? So how can I bring packaging with labeling and so on, machine and so on, and maybe I bring it in small sizes, okay? Like I sell it like candies. For example, the honeycomb itself, or something like this, or for souvenirs in Kigali. People want to leave the airport. When I go to the airport, I've seen it. They are selling it so much higher. Okay, nobody was buying because it's very expensive. So can you go leave it and reach the airport with less amount of can you sell it in Kigali in the tourist area? That will make a difference. Okay. We inspiration people, inspiration economy is all about disrupting the status quo of the community, and the poverty issue, the migration issue, the instability issue, whatever, and disrupting the way we are approaching the product that we want to reach. We are disruptors. Okay, we are community disruptors, but alhamdulillah to the positive. Okay, instead of wasting our energy in the negative side. So thank you again for this opportunity, and I hope to see. I know it's now late already. We've taken more than 2 hours. Unless you have a question, we can conclude.
Thank you so much for the comment.
Yeah, thank you.
I would like to
Yes, sir. Please, Prof. Sayed,
Professor Buhaja,
yes,
I would like to thank to congratulate Ms. Khadija. And so, as you said, the packaging, the can, etc. And it's very interesting as that you say, the labeling, to make a brand for this kind of I think, biological product. As you said, there are now pesticides, etc. And to open to other markets worldwide. And so they will be a structural project. So they will be transport, airplane, techniques of managing, etc. And will manufacture will be around this project. And so when you see in the market and the place where we sell this product with a good branding, with the name of the local and the region from where becomes this product. So the branding is very good because it's a biological product and a healthy product. So look like the oil in Tunisia. So we sell it in a block or in cans. So in cans it's good and can improve more incomes. And thank you very much. Thank you again.
Thank you. You mean the olive oil? You were talking about Prof. Sayed. He was talking about the olive oil. You know, because Tunisia is very popular in olives, and that's what he's saying. The more you sell it in a good, the packaging of the bottling itself, the bottling look nice. If it is smaller size, you can sell it more, and it's more expensive, even though the quantity is less. So that's again a marketing technique. Yes. Okay, and also product mix. Yani Dr. Said, for example, and you can sell the olive oil with something else relevant to that. Yeah. And this is what we also do. We did in Morocco, different countries, and I believe that they also can do that. They should try. For example, this country have nuts, so they can mix the nuts with the honeycomb, for example. Yeah. Okay, or herbals. So people would like to take the herbal with the honeycomb, so that it will be like more also it's a product mix. But it has to be in a, for example, if they put it in a container, a plastic container, it's different when they put it in a you know, glass bottle. So this is here where is the difference that will make. If it is small, also something small, you know, like in the plane, they give you this honey. Same, maybe can be same, but honeycomb. You can eat it with a spoon, for example. Okay, this is where I feel yani, that the profit making start to be. And for that, if I were with this team, I will focus with these farmers. Still, I'm going to raise the, you know, reduce the poverty of these people by talking to these farmers, and then we're gonna buy from you. And based on the profit, we will raise your profit margin, and it's like a technique or agreement. Okay, and then they can start and expand more, and so on, something like this. Okay, thanks a lot, everyone. And I know, sorry, we're taking a long time today, but I hope that this will benefit you. And we are really also are investing a lot of time, even though all of us busy, as you know, and hope to see you, inshallah, next time. Just keep trying, keep collecting data, and sit down on these two forms. And I'm sure you're gonna benefit from this long term, not only for the projects, for your life. Because in life, we see many things and we observe many things, but we never sit down to analyze them and synthesize them. Okay, and this is what is the difference of people. The difference is not how much you know, it is how much you really synthesize and analyze what you know, okay, and utilize what you know. Because now knowledge is so much available, knowledge is available, but how much we are taking a pause and reflecting on this. This is where the forms will help you to do that, inshallah. Thanks a lot, and hope to see you, inshallah, soon next week. Thank you.
Thank
See you
you very
guys.
much
Bye-bye.
for all. Good, very interesting. Good.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Bye. Thank you, Farhan. Bye.
Okay.